What's going on, everyone? My name is Brent Kromer. I own a few different companies in a few different industries, and I teach people how to scale all different companies in all different industries. So the three companies I own, one, C4F, this is consulting. We started off helping fitness coaches grow their businesses online. The business number two is called To the Moon Investments. Hilarious. Our logo is a rocket ship, and that is buy and hold long-term investment properties where we drive or essentially force equity. They're value add properties. We renovate, we force equity, we increase, rents, build back utilities, do all the different things to drive the NOI up, which is increases the equity. Then if the market is favorable, we refi, pull out, and buy more properties. Okay, so that's business number two. And business number three is prime parcel real estate, where we are land investors. We buy vacant rural land and we essentially wholesale it, for lack of explaining the whole process, right? So that is me. That is what I do. I own three businesses and I still live a fairly cool, fun life. And so what I want to walk you guys through was 2025, what 2025 looked like for me personally, professionally, 24, and what 2025 will look like starting in about a week. Okay, so this year, and by the way, I want to tell you guys the lessons that I learned throughout this past year, because while a lot of it is going to seem like, hey, things went perfect, everything was great, there were some mishaps, some expensive lessons, and all sorts of things that I could have, in hindsight, done a whole lot better. So maybe whether you're following in a similar path or you're doing something similar, or you're thinking about doing something similar, maybe I can redirect you before you spend a tremendous amount of money or waste a tremendous amount of time, because I have done both time and time and time again. That's the only way I seem to learn. So let's dive in. Starting last year, I'll just walk you through the timeline. I'll tell you what I did, what was great, and what I learned. So we moved to Colorado at the beginning of the year. We were renting just to see if we liked the area. By the way, first recommendation, anytime you are planning to move somewhere, rent first. Rent for 6 to 12 months. We traveled all around the country for 2 years. And what we found was most places were awesome in the first month, cool in the second month, then like months 3 through 6 is where we really started to find whether or not we wanted to actually live there. That's when some of the random things started to kind of show up that we didn't love. Again, we loved every place overall, but like living there long term, there was we would find those things at like months 3 through 6. So we moved here. We moved to Lakewood, which is a suburb of Denver. We are not city people. Lakewood was not what we thought it was. Online, it was like this super nice place. And when we got there, it was parts of it were nice. The part we were in was nice, and then you leave that part and it was not nice. So thankfully, we didn't just commit to like a year right off the bat. We committed to 6 months. We found within the first couple of months, like, hey, it's great. And then we're like, Colorado is great. This area is not great. So fast forward to the spring, we bought pretty quickly. We bought a house further out, closer to Boulder, where it is very quiet. Crime rate is very low. There are much less people. We are closer to the mountains. We get to enjoy all the amenities of Denver, which is 25 minutes away, and Boulder, which is about 5 to 10 minutes away. So we get to enjoy both and be in a much safer location. So tip number one, always rent first before you commit to buying anywhere. Okay, so move forward. We bought a dog. His name is Waylon. You guys have probably seen him all over everywhere. He's a English cream golden retriever. He's like the fancy one. We went to Vail and Brooke saw English creams everywhere. That's what all the rich people had, and she bought one very quickly thereafter, and he's probably one of the best additions ever to my life. He is just my best bud. So that was number two. And again, a little bit pricey for the pup. We didn't know this, but justifying the price tag, we found that he comes from this lineage of champion show dogs, and we're like, we don't need that. We just need a dog that can play tug of war. So hindsight number two, don't buy fancy lineage. He's healthy, which is great, but I think we probably overspent for papers, but wonderful dog nonetheless. Buying a house, so we rented, got the dog, got the house. We're in a much better location, and then we bought a new car. Hindsight number two, we bought an Audi off the showroom floor. It was beautiful and it was exactly what we thought we wanted. And then we returned the Audi within 2 weeks and paid the difference, the depreciation, which was not cheap. And I'll tell you why. Audis, if you have an Audi and this offends you, I'm happy for you, because that means you've had a different experience. We bought this Audi. It was a 2025 or whatever it was. It was in August. It fell apart instantly. The engine was on recall, so that went bad. The windshield broke like 2 times, I think, in like a matter of like 2 weeks. The windshield wipers got crossed up and like exploded when it was raining one day. The glove box fell off. It just fell. The infotainment system did not work. So there was numerous issues with that. So we returned it and we set our egos to the side. While we wanted a nice brand new luxury car, we instead bought a nice brand new Kia Sportage. And that was lesson number 2. Don't buy based on the name. We love our Kia, okay? Again, we did pretty well financially this year. I'm still not buying any sports cars. I'm not doing any of that bogus stuff. The Kia is wonderful. The Audi was trash. So lesson number 2, don't buy, or lesson number whatever, don't buy based on the name. And the Kia was half the price, and it is tremendous. Okay. Number 3, I don't know, tip number whatever. I paid off my truck in a lump sum. I now do not owe anything on a truck, which is a great thing. The more bills that you can pay off, the better. So that reduced our monthly expenses, which helps just in general for like a rainy day, right? So what I have created and what I've always wanted to create is my passive income will overcome my monthly expenses. Well, it's easier for that to happen when you have less monthly expenses. So I tend to pay things off to, again, save for a rainy day. Should things ever go terribly, I can still survive quite comfortably in the form of like almost a retirement. Okay. Next thing that happened, boy, did we spend a lot of money. I bought more rentals. I think I bought 10 or 15 rentals this year. So we're up to 33. I did that right after we bought our house and the car, and then we bought a camper, and then I bought all those units. Stress is a thing. But we bought more buy and hold units, and then I didn't fully anticipate the amount of renovations that we would have to put into those, which was significant. So we have renovated almost every single unit that we own. Actually, we have. Our last one is finishing in December, which is when I'm recording this, December 23rd. So wonderful, because what we do, as I prefaced in the beginning, is we buy value-add properties. And what I mean by value add is cosmetically, typically. I mean, if they need a new furnace or new roof, that's not uncommon. And then when you can put the money into it, typically if it's like cosmetic and things like that, then you can also increase rent or remove the previous tenant that's been there for years and their rent hasn't increased, and get someone in who's willing to pay market value, which in a lot of cases is like double, because a lot of these smaller towns, the landlords don't increase the rent very often, which is good and bad. So we bought more units. And then in June, I got this crazy idea. Hey, let's start another company. So at this point I had 2. I had C4F Consulting, and then I had the buy and hold to the moon. And then I was like, hey, let's start another company, because I don't have enough on my plate. And genuinely, I didn't. I was doing, I've managed things very well. I was just bored. Started a land investing company, and we have, there was the mentorship for a lot of money, and then there was the course. Okay. I bought the course. I quickly found, and this is not to be cocky, me and my partner, between both of our expertise, we knew more than 99% of the students coming into that course. I created all the systems from scratch in GHL, all the follow-ups, the nurture. Our sales weren't that great in the beginning. I developed a sales process just using the same fundamentals I use to help other people. And we are closing a ridiculous, and by we, I mean I'm on all these calls, closing a ridiculous amount of deals. I'm negotiating people from 78,000 on their land down to 22,000, and then we make a solid spread. And the negotiating that I'm able to do with the process that I wrote is just amazing. And I am patting myself on my own back, but I have the data to suggest that that's reasonable. Okay. Where we went wrong, I think my ego, both of our egos were a little bit ahead of us. We're like, hey, let's do shit the opposite way that they're teaching in the course, and let's just find like a unique way to do it. And but for the most part, it worked. The CRM, the systems, the sales process, the marketing that we do is entirely different, like totally different. But in doing things different and choosing a less proven path, we have wasted probably, I don't know, thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars, marketing to the wrong places, looking at the wrong metrics, just not having all the information, more of just like, hey, we're going to full send this thing. And then we found that's not the best way. And then we flooded our pipeline with hundreds of leads and almost burned us both out. So then I had to recreate systems to fix my old systems. Right now, they're doing pretty well. So lesson number whatever, don't try to do things too fast, and don't do things sloppy for the sake of volume. Okay, scale slow, steady. It doesn't have to be slow, but it has to be steady. Slow is, for us, I think it's appropriate depending on your outward circumstances, which having a personal life and 2 other businesses, slow and steady is what I want here. And that's what we've realigned to. And we are doing just that. We have 23 properties under contract. We have our response rate to our marketing is triple the industry average. And we have 5 properties as of now set to close in January. And maybe a couple in, before the end of December as well. So, we're getting a payout there because we haven't had a great payout in a couple months. So that will feel nice. Okay. So just being transparent on that business. So to the moon, 33 rentals. I want to get to 50 before my 30th birthday, which is June 20th. If you guys want to send me a gift, I'm going to do everything I can to get those extra 17 units. My original goal, by the way, it was 100 by 30. Clearly I'm not going to hit that, and that sucks, but that's life. If you set a big goal and you fall short and you still end up with 50 instead of 100, I think I can forgive myself maybe. So that's pretty cool. Prime parcel, slow, steady systems are producing, and it's not taking a tremendous amount of my time, energy, and mental bandwidth. And then we kick it over to C4F. This has been my main dig for 4 years. Again, where I helped fitness coaches scale their businesses. Well, I've been getting asked by all different industries, a lot of health and wellness type industries, but also now insurance and bigger businesses. And by bigger, I mean, multi 7, 8-figure businesses that I'm starting to evaluate with big teams. Hired a mentor for that. He taught me I had a good foundation. I had an MBA, but he taught me how to break it down from a total different perspective, which has been tremendous. So now I can evaluate larger businesses and drive profitability and pull the right levers at the right time, which is a wonderful skill to have as well. So I'm thankful for that. So C4F, one of the best things I did, lesson number whatever, I had a lot of clients in the beginning. So last January, the very first month of the year, we hit a big month, probably double my biggest month prior to that. And it sucked. And by February, I wanted to burn it all down because we brought in a ton of clients that didn't align. We just were selling everyone, and they were getting results, right? For the most part, the success rate was high compared to other big companies that bring in a lot of people, but it just didn't feel right. I didn't have alignment with a lot of the people. I didn't enjoy working with many of them, and not having that tremendously high success rate and just being acceptable. It's not really my thing. So afterwards, I did the absolute best I could for everybody. And most of them, again, did very well. I reduced it down. It's all one-to-one consulting with just my fiance, Brooke, and I. By the way, that's the next thing I'm getting to. It couldn't be better. Oh my goodness. We take on 15 people, one-to-one. Then we have a lower ticket, which is more of a group coaching, which they still get a ton of help because those are the people I typically ascend into the one-to-one after someone leaves. So I kind of groom them. Grooming's not a great way to phrase things anymore. I really mentor them well, help them build the systems and everything the right way. And then when they're ready to get called to the quote unquote big leagues for the one-to-one unlimited consulting, where I actually come into the business and help them, they're much better off, and it is much easier for me to scale them from there. So that's a great thing. So that has been amazing. I don't feel a lot of stress in C4F. I have a very personalized relationship with everybody that I have in there. Personal friends with a lot of them. There's alignment with everyone. I genuinely enjoy all of my calls with them. So I'm keeping that the way that it is, and as a result, there's been a bit of demand for those. So when a spot opens, usually it fills because people see the results. Like people are getting amazing results now, which is like up to the standard where I want. So it's like when I actually have a spot open, it gets filled pretty quickly, especially now that I'm taking on different industries. So again, something I'm very, very grateful for. The single best thing that happened to me this year was I proposed to Brooke. Thankfully, she said yes. There was never a doubt. That was on our Hawaii trip. I proposed, and then the next morning I woke up with severe COVID and was borderline dead for the next 7 days. So thankfully I did it on the very first day. Hours after we got off the plane, we did this super cool hike on a coast, and I did it there. I'll spare you guys all the details, but it was wonderful. A big year, an expensive year. Lots of being in Colorado, lots of hobbies, mountain bikes, skiing, all the different things. Thank God we're pretty much outfitted for every possible adventure that we can do. But in light of that, the one thing, because stress has been no stranger to me this year. Okay, I know it sounds like maybe I'm rambling. I just want to give you guys like an overall view of like what, I don't know, my life looks like. You guys listen to me all the time. You guys take my advice. Like if you work with me, it's probably good to know a little bit about who I am as a person, both personally, professionally, and then I'll tell you guys what I plan on doing in 2025, where I see myself going. So one thing though, since moving to Colorado, I do something I enjoy every single day. And I mean it. Like Mondays, I schedule as just a personal day. It's not personal in the fact that I just lounge. I do a lot of work on my Mondays to set up for a great week. And then Tuesday through Friday, I'm the best version of myself and I have my ducks in a row for my clients. But doing something I enjoy every day, that's mountain biking, that's snowshoeing, that's skiing, that's hiking, that's pickleball, that's, I don't know, taking the dogs out. Like I do something that I genuinely enjoy every day. And it's what's helped me not want to fall off the edge of a cliff with all the stress that I deal with. It's really quite manageable when you factor in the amount of time that I get to myself each day, which is wonderful. So try to do something that you enjoy every single day. And I mean every single day. Now my legs hurt and I'm going mountain biking here in a little bit, and I'm nervous because I don't want to pull a hamstring, but after a weekend of mountain biking, hiking, and skiing, I'm back at it again today. It keeps you young, keeps me in shape and active and happy. So I would suggest everyone do some form of that if they can, no matter how busy you are. 2025, where do I see myself? I see myself, hopefully, as far as like foundations go, in a very similar place next year. Profitable, happy, relationship is great. Maybe building a family is something we're talking about. That's on the very personal side. I don't know if that'll be this year or in the next 1 to 2 years. We have everything we need, and that's something like I'm not saying to brag. Like I'm saying as like I couldn't be more thankful for what this year has brought us. Now from the business, and I do set business goals for C4F. I want to keep my very favorite clients. I want to keep that 15 clients. And just have them on retainer each month, just like I have been. I'm very happy with where that is. Prime parcel, I want to continue buying and investing into land. I want to hit, it's not an audacious goal. An audacious goal would be, let's hit 1 million gross. I want to just hit 500,000 gross this year. We're profitable from year one, which is all you can ask for in a business that's a couple months old. Year two, I think 500 would be a perfect threshold to shoot for. And then in 26, we can hit that 7-figure, but I want to focus on building the team and the systems before I push for those big audacious numbers. Not that 1 million's like audacious, but for this business, I really want to, a slow and controlled burn is what I want here. Protecting my sanity is more important. So, and then for, to the moon, I want my 50 units by June, which is exactly halfway through the year. If I can get to 60 to 75 by the end of the year, all things willing, I would be just so stoked. Maybe I'll change my goal. I wanted 100 units by 30. Maybe I'll try to get 100 units before I'm 31. So like while I'm 30. That's what you do, right? If you don't hit goals, you just kind of you just tweak them until they kind of make sense. So those would all be tremendous things there. The wedding is in 2026. They're booked up every single day, Monday through Sunday for the next year and a half. So we are getting married June of 26. So we'll continue. Thankfully, that was another thing. We were able to take the money, put it into a wedding fund, which accumulates interest at 5%. So the wedding is technically already paid for and generating interest for when that day comes and we have to actually start taking out deposits and paying for things. So that's another thing we're extremely grateful for. So there's not a lot on that front. It's just really planning it and getting it to look exactly how we want. So more to come on that. So that's me as a person. I hit most goals. I don't hit some, and that doesn't completely derail me or destroy me, because I know there's more to life than just money. Money's great. It is wonderful. But what's also great is being healthy and enjoying my life after I shut down my computer. And I hope that for all of you as well. We're 2 days away from Christmas, so I'm in a very thankful mood. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. Take some time off. By the time you hear this, I suppose it'll be after Christmas. So I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Take care.